Hey, this is Victor Antonio, and I want to talk to you, my UMA students, about making it through the program, pushing through, overcoming adversity, and graduating. Now, I understand your pain. When I first started college, it was very difficult for me. I was born in Chicago, and I went to an inner city public school. But when I got to college, it was really difficult because guess what? I didn't have all the tools. From a Chicago public school going into a college, I just didn't have all the requirements. My math levels weren't there, my reading comprehension levels weren't there. And I remember I figured this out maybe within the first month or two of being there. And that first semester, I had to drop all my courses and basically take what I call college remedial courses for the first semester. And I fell behind immediately. It took me 5.5 years to graduate from college, but I graduated. And something happened as I went back and took the remedial courses. Obviously, my comprehension went up, my math skills went up, and I just got much better at it. But I also developed better study habits. And that allowed me to really push through the program because when you get to your second or third year, and I have a bachelor's degree in science, electrical engineering, and when you get to your third year, things really begin to get tough. And the interesting thing was, is that because I had developed great study habits early on, struggling through the system, right? I didn't realize I was actually learning great study habits. So when I got to the third year and fourth year, I'm not going to say it was easier, but let's just say the study skills were in place. In other words, my habits were in place that I saw a lot of my counterparts who started with me, who were ahead of me, begin to drop like flies. They had not developed the study skills or the habits that I had developed. And so I'd say this to you is because you're going to come across some instances, circumstances, classes more specifically, where you're going to struggle. You're going to fight through it. I've been there. I remember one time I couldn't get physics, right? I had a physics course. I couldn't understand it. And I remember I was so frustrated. Literally, I threw my book. It was a summer day. I threw the book out the window. We were on the first floor, so not a big deal. But I remember throwing the book. I was so frustrated I threw it out the window, right? And then I had to go outside and pick it up, and then I felt a little better about the whole situation. But nonetheless, I had to come back and face the book. Now, what I learned is that, like anything else, if you want to learn something, you just got to focus in on it and practice. That's the key, practice. Like math, for example, I realized that to be good at math, now if you got an engineering degree, you got to get good at math. In order to get good at math, to excel at math, it was almost like anything else. You just got to practice it. You got to do a lot of problems. You got to focus on just exercising, doing a lot of programs or a lot of examples, walking through the process like anything else. If you want to play a sport, what do? You learn how to practice. You practice often. You practice with purpose, right? No different. When you have a class that you're having difficulties with, just keep this in mind. Study with purpose and use examples. Study examples. Ask yourself questions as you're going through the material, but don't give up. Again, it's not as hard as you think. On first pass, it looks difficult because we're not used to seeing the material sometimes, right? But the second time you look at it, it becomes a little more familiar. Third time, guess what? It becomes that much more familiar that it becomes almost second nature. So again, if you're struggling through a class, if you're trying to push through a class, all I'm saying to you is keep studying. And again, the more you practice, the more you talk it through, maybe get a partner and talk it through with them, ask questions back and forth till you get the material. And what you're going to start seeing is that you're going to get really good at it. You know what I mean? You're going to get really good at it. And what I want you to do is push through those moments. Don't get frustrated and says, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I can't do this. That's not the point. Everybody can do it. Anybody can get a college degree if they just focus and study, and so can you. So just keep this in mind. Focus, study, overcome adversity, do not give up, and maybe, I'll see you at graduation. Take care.